Welcome to Canines Fall 2023 graduation. I'm Jeff Johnson, the Executive Director here at Canines, and we are so thankful that you're joining us today to celebrate these 15 new life-changing partnerships. There are a lot of exciting things happening at Canines right now, and I'd love to share them all with you, but it's not the time or the place for that. Today is a day to celebrate our new teams and thank all of you who are responsible for making this graduation happen. We want to thank the hundreds of volunteers who give a part of their lives training and loving these dogs, our generous donors who allow us to always provide our dogs free of charge, the amazing staff of professionals here at Canines, and those who've donated puppies to us or given medical care to these dogs. And of course, we want to thank these new graduates. We're honored that they've chosen us to partner with them as they enter this exciting new stage of their lives. Everyone's support is the reason we're able to share these inspirational new teams with you today. Now we get to meet all of our graduating teams. Mary Sue Kruger, a longtime supporter and former board president of Canines, will be sharing their amazing stories with us. Thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy our Fall 2023 graduation.
Megan lives with a rare progressive disease called Friedreich's ataxia. Her condition causes diminished capacity for movement and loss of sensation over time. She received her mobility assist dog Iggy right around Independence Day, an apt description for the impact he's had on her life. With commands like tug, get it, and others, Megan cues Iggy to open doors and drawers and pick up dropped items. Before Iggy, these simple movements were challenging and time-consuming. Now Megan says, I feel like I can do so much more stuff, and I'm so much happier. Iggy saves me energy, too. I don't have to do so many physical things that were difficult. Iggy's happiest when doing a job. Megan appreciates the work Canines did to train him so well. But what she's most grateful for is having a new best friend who brings the gift of greater independence. Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team, Megan and Iggy. George was diagnosed with autism when he was 4. His mom, Angela, explains that long meltdowns were frequent and going out as a family was exhausting. Now, with Autism Assist dog Ruth by his side, outings are more possible and less stressful. Animals have always had a positive effect on George, so it's no surprise that Ruth has become his ideal partner. Angela shares, since the day she came into our home, George hasn't asked to sleep in our room even once. She is his emotional anchor. His meltdowns now last seconds instead of hours, and they end in giggles instead of endless brooding. Angela says, Ruth is teaching him the importance of advocacy because he needs to be her voice. This has helped him gain confidence to start advocating for himself in simple ways. She adds, these two together are going to be unstoppable. Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team George and Ruth and their family. Bethany's seizure disorder meant that a stroke in 2022 was especially scary. Her 5-year-old daughter was able to call EMS, but Bethany knew she needed a better emergency plan. She also has a connective tissue disorder that makes bending over almost impossible and walking difficult. Qantas is her seizure and mobility assist dog who makes sure Bethany has the help she needs. If she has a seizure, Qantas will either find someone to help or lick her hands and face to help her revive. He retrieves whatever Bethany needs, so she doesn't have to endure the pain of bending. He also helps her get the exercise she needs. Qantas gives Bethany independence and freedom and brings peace of mind to her husband and daughter. She says, "Thank you for giving us these special gifts. We wouldn't have them if it wasn't for all the time, energy, and work Can-Do Canines puts into preparing these dogs. Congratulations to Seizure and Mobility Assist Dog Team, Bethany and Qantas. This past summer, Travis introduced facility dog Ian to his co-workers at the St. Paul EMS station. Travis says, having a dog in the building just changes people's mood and mentality. Ian and Travis do medical role play with children at community events. Ian can also help calm a child in a stressful situation. The team is assigned to provide medical support during events at Allianz Field. One time, a lost child was so upset that police officers couldn't get the child to communicate. Travis shares, bringing Ian into the picture allowed the child to redirect and calm down. When staff members are reliving a difficult experience, a hard discussion would be harder without Ian in the room. Travis says, every day he does things that having him here for that moment was what got us to the next step. Congratulations to Facility Dog Team Travis and Ian. Stephanie's first hearing assist dog, Fred, served her well for many years. During that time, Stephanie and her husband had 3 children. When Fred suddenly passed away, Stephanie wondered how a new dog would fit into their busy lives. Her concerns vanished when she met Casanova, who blended beautifully into their family. Stephanie shares, "My kids love that he helps them get my attention. It's especially fun since it's a moving sound source. Casanova has to find me and figure out which child is calling for me. But he knows I'm his person. He always wants my attention and my affection first." Stephanie applauds Can-Do Canine's commitment to help people with disabilities. "People like me get a fair chance to live our lives in the best way possible," she says. "The work you do has a true impact on the lives of so many people." Congratulations to Successor Hearing Assist Dog Team, Stephanie and Casanova. Diane lives with chronic pain due to a hip defect, scoliosis, and psoriatic arthritis. Her mobility assist dog, Uzi, is her constant companion, helping her with the many tasks of daily life. If Diane's cane is out of reach, Uzi will bring it to her. When simple things like taking off shoes and socks aggravate Diane's constant nerve pain, Uzi is right there to help. Equally gentle, attentive, and kind, Uzi loves to work. He opens doors and drawers, even assists with laundry. He wants to please, notes Diane. Diane's conditions also caused balance issues, making her reluctant to leave her home. Now Uzi helps her get out and about with less fear of falling. If I say we're going somewhere, he just lights up. Today, Diane lives with less isolation and anxiety and more happiness. "I feel like I have a companion who's got my back and I've got his." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team, Diane and Uzi. "11-year-old Charlie has autism and struggles to stay regulated in public. Rully is his autism assist dog, who keeps Charlie calm when he's out with his family. His mom, Kade, says, "I can't tell you the number of times he just disappeared." Now, if Charlie tries to run, Rully is the soft, furry anchor who keeps him safe. At home, Charlie's always moving, but he's learned to read Rully's calm and can calm himself to match the dog. If he's overwhelmed, Charlie will find Rully and hug him instead of falling back on undesirable behaviors. Kade says he's more independent and more capable of regulating. Charlie enjoys showing Rully to other people. Kade hopes Rully will be an icebreaker when Charlie's making new friends. "I can't begin to thank all the volunteers and staff at Can Do Canines," she says. "They give their time and homes and their love to someone else's dog. It's incredible." Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Charlie and Rully and their family. Zoe's condition causes a partial loss of consciousness or a complete fainting episode several times a week. She says, "It felt like every time I saw the doctor there was something new I couldn't do. I'd lose a little part of my life." Mobility assist dog Winda helps Zoe manage her challenges. When Winda senses that Zoe is beginning to fade out, she nudges Zoe's hand and helps her find a safe place to sit down and weather the blackout. Waking up after fainting is disorienting, so Winda lies across Zoe's body, protecting and supporting her as she wakes up. Her presence helps Zoe recover more quickly and calmly. Winda is helping Zoe reclaim those missing parts. "There are a lot of accommodations for people with disabilities," she says, "but none that offer as much help as an assistance dog. With Winda, I've regained my independence. I have my life back." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Zoe and Winda. Heather has had type 1 diabetes for over 30 years. She received her first diabetes assist dog, Becca, in 2011. When Becca passed away last year, Heather was matched with successor dog Franny. Heather and her partner Greg were impressed with Franny's skills from the get-go, like her ability to get help for Heather if she needs it. Franny alerts to blood sugar lows by nudging until Heather notices, and then retrieves her medical bag of testing supplies. Franny goes to work with Heather, napping under Heather's desk, but ready to alert if she senses an impending low. Heather is quick to count the reasons why she's grateful to Can Do Canines, saying, 1. They provide dogs at no charge. 2. They tailor the dog's training to clients' specific needs. And 3. They raise and train the most beautiful and skilled dogs. Congratulations to successor Diabetes Assist Dog Team Heather and Franny. In 2020, Zack developed drug-resistant epilepsy due to an infection. His resulting seizure disorder kept him homebound for 3 years, until a doting yellow lab named Quartz changed his life. Trained as a seizure assist dog, Quartz is providing more independence and freedom for Zack. On their very first day together, Zack took her for a walk, leaving his house by himself for the first time since his seizures began. "Yes, I get to take the dog for a walk," says Zack excitedly of the now frequent activity. If a seizure occurs, Quartz can get a phone for him, help him recover faster by licking him, provide deep pressure therapy, and find a person in the home who can help. Zack admits, Just having her next to me to comfort me in a scary situation is really nice. Thanks to Quartz, Zack's world is gradually expanding again. Congratulations to Seizure Assist Dog Team Zack and Quartz. After her husband passed away, Sue realized she had relied on him to make her aware of important sounds. Around the same time, arthritis began to seriously affect her ability to walk. Although she first applied for a hearing assist dog, Sue was eventually matched with Kade, a hearing and mobility assist dog. Kade puts those big ears to use, alerting Sue to the smoke detector, alarm clock, and other critical sounds. Sue says, "I'm relieved that he's here to help me. He's going to hear those things and let me know." Kade also retrieves items for Sue, tugs her walker to her, and activates push plates when they go in and out. Sue says, "I cannot give enough gratitude to every single person who touched Kade's life before I got him. He so much wants to work and is so happy to help." Congratulations to Hearing and Mobility Assist Dog Team, Sue and Kade. Annika and Krista are child life specialists at Children's Minnesota. Facility dog Riggs helps them care for their young patients on the eating disorder and medical surgical units. Riggs encourages patients to walk after surgery. Krista explains, taking Riggs for a walk makes it much easier to get them up and moving. He also role-plays hospital procedures. A child sees that Riggs stays calm during his examination, which helps her stay calm too. If a young patient is anxious, Riggs is called in for a snuggle. Just touching his soft fur and feeling his warmth can avert a panic attack. A trip to the OR is a lot less scary when Riggs is along for the ride. Annika and Krista know that having Riggs is only possible because of the people who put time, love, and patience into raising him. Krista says, "I hope they know that he's going to help so many young patients." Congratulations to Facility Dog Team Annika, Krista, and Riggs. Emily has a primary immunodeficiency disorder and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder. Her conditions make anti-allergen standard poodle Louis a great fit as Emily's mobility assist dog. Louis brings Emily her medications and can press a medical call button in an emergency. When Emily needs juice to raise her blood sugar, Louis springs into action, bringing her a juice box that's kept in a snack bag next to his kennel. Emily notes, he carries it very carefully, by the edge. Because her Ehlers-Danlos syndrome can cause pain and joint dislocation, Louis does the heavy lifting. Emily says, "I can't believe how focused and willing to help he is." She adds, "I look forward to the years to come and our growing relationship. Louis has changed my life in so many ways, and there's more to come." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Emily and Louis. Jacob has cerebral palsy. He lives alone and uses a power chair. In 2014, he received Iggy, his first mobility assist dog. When Iggy passed away, successor dog Peyton bounced into Jacob's life. Peyton opens and closes doors and drawers for Jacob. When he has trouble taking off clothing, Peyton tugs until the job is done. And of course, he retrieves anything Jacob drops. Peyton brings additional benefits as well. Jacob explains, "His love is more than enough to get me through the day. When I'm feeling not so happy-go-lucky, he's always there to check on me and make sure I'm all right." Jacob's grateful for his continued ability to live alone. Peyton makes his life even better. Jacob says, "I think the companionship of having someone to care for and care about makes us better people." Congratulations to successor Mobility Assist Dog Team Jacob and Peyton. Tiffany's hearing and mobility issues were caused by a traumatic brain injury in 2020. A beautiful black lab named Ruby helps Tiffany cope with her daily challenges. If there's a medical emergency, Ruby will alert someone in their home to come to Tiffany's aid. The risk of falling and hurting herself is one of Tiffany's biggest fears, so Ruby picks up and brings her anything she needs. Tiffany admits, "I don't know how I got by for 2.5 years without her. I can actually sleep at night, knowing that if something comes up, she'll let me know." With Ruby by her side, Tiffany was inspired to set a goal for herself. One day, just walking with Ruby and not having to use any walking device at all. She thanks everyone who had a part in Ruby's training, saying, "They gave me my life back." Congratulations to Hearing and Mobility Assist Dog Team Tiffany and Ruby.